In progress.
Welcome to another episode of POS, the podcast where we find the piece of shit in basically everything. Before you start laughing at this wonderful episode, if you've got any food in front of you, I'm sure it's bland and stupid. So why don't you go get some Silk City hot sauce, put it on there. Once again, I'm not sure if Amy's aware, but I think Dave knows that when you use Silk City hot sauce and you purchase it on a website, you are not allowed to be a pedophile. Pedophiles are not allowed to buy this sauce. Only people who don't touch kids.
Pedo-free.
Jeff is, pedo-free. Jeff should put that on there. Thank you, Amy. We should put that on the bottle. Pedo-free. You know, like, it's like, and they'd be like, oh, is that PETA-free? Like, you can't hurt animals? No, we'll hurt animals. We just won't hurt children. It's fair. But they have tons of flavors. They have other artwork. Jeff's amazing. Go to silkcityhotsauce.com. Use the promo code POS. And there's nothing on the site about pedophiles. Jeff has kind of said, hey, maybe you can take it down with the pedophile beginning, but that's the pitch I use. So ours is different. There's probably a reason we're the only show that promotes this. It doesn't have a sauce. It's probably the pedophile thing, but we're fine that way. But you have all kinds of comics that you like have sauces. Bob Levy, Chrissy Mayer, Aaron Berg, you name them. And get on there, even if you don't like that, the fun artwork, the sauce, the love they put into it. Jeff and his family do a great job. So go over there, use the promo code POS, save 15%. That being said, well, Dave, shut the fuck up. Because I'm about to get introduced. Amy can say stuff because she's an influencer and you're just influenced.
I have to say, I've tried the hot sauce in various flavors and it's really good. And I'm not a hot sauce person, but I've tried it in small doses and I really enjoyed it.
My dad used to call Mexicans hot sauce people. It's kind of a racist term, but I like that you used it as well. Dave, go ahead now. You want to be involved in the commercial? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just was going to say, you know, I've never known. I look at a hot sauce. I'm like, I don't know if these guys touch kids. If only someone would put that on the label.
Well, they kind of do. They kind of do. Red hot. That just sounds like a kid's penis. You know what I mean? Just tiny little hot dog like that. That what Pecos thing where it's a little boy in a sombrero. He just got diddled. He's running away. It's there. Pace, like you got to pace yourself. It's a boy. It could.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? They're all there.
Oh my God.
I don't even think that's sauce. I think that's salsa. But either way, that's fine. Bobby, save this.
Conte.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the POS show with your host who only signed that. It was not a co-sign. It was a solo sign by your host, Pat, and the co-host, Bobby Tamburo. Did not co-sign. To be clear, did not. Joining us
Bobby
tonight,
wants to make it clear that he thinks pedophiles should do everything regular people do.
I think they shouldn't be the focus of the hot sauce. It should be the flavor, you know?
Well, no one else is focusing on them, and they're sneaking in. Like the Mexicans.
Of hot sauce, we have a hot guest with us who we are always excited to have on. She's a YouTube sensation. Oh. She's an up-and-coming OnlyFans star. She's, at this point, you know her, you love her. She's whatever, Amy. Amy, thanks for coming on the pod.
Thanks for having me.
And also with us is the guy we have when both Dan Brown, Mike O'Donnell, and pretty much everybody else is busy, and he's completely free. It's Dave Hintz.
Thanks, Bob. That was great.
For people who don't know who Amy is, though, whatever Amy people must think we're insulting you at first, but they don't know that's your name. We're like, whatever, Amy, and they're like, no, that's the whole gimmick. It's funny that it works, but it's a very who's on first name, like where it's like, are you shitting on her? Or she's more than whatever. It's like,
I've been asked multiple times how I got my name, especially because I do a lot of I would say amateur stuff with OnlyFans and Playboy and stuff. And they're like, oh, does it mean you're like down for whatever? And I'm like, you would be extremely disappointed if you knew how I actually got my name. And it's just when I joined Twitter, I needed a handle and I saw all these other clever people out there. And all I could come up with was whatever, thinking like, oh, it's just a nice, polite way of saying, fuck you. And that's how it came to be years and years ago. And here I am.
I like that way better than some creep was like, you down for whatever.
Yeah, right.
Like
it's not whore Amy. It's like, that's not what you called yourself. That wouldn't have been my guess. I thought it just would have been like, whatever. I thought you were like, when I first saw it and didn't know you, I was like, oh, she's like the most Italian lady. Like, whatever.
I'm half Italian, yes. Well, that's why it's spelled that way on my handle. Yeah, like whatever.
Oh, I thought it was because you were half black. I've only seen the half up on the screen. I didn't know. Maybe from the waist down.
I just have to assume. I just thought it was funny you assume that people, like the majority of people watching this episode of the podcast, aren't gonna know who whatever Amy is. Like her swell isn't gonna completely be her fans watching it, and it's gonna be who's this bald guy and the other guy who's hiding his baldness with that hat,
Bobby,
and who's that guy in the bottom? He insulted for no reason.
Bobby always makes me feel so famous.
Oh, I'm top right in mine.
Well, you're also a bottom in our hearts, Dave.
And bottom of the list of guests we invite, especially with that attitude.
Bobby, if you notice what I did there, it's being a journalist like I am 101, a great interviewer. You notice how Amy's answer came out? Well, when people do ask me that, if you notice, I never asked her it. I just brought something up and then let her do the conversation on her own. Yes, I know people will know who she is, but by doing that, she was able to be herself and not a robot and going, so Amy, why is it whatever? And then she had to do some dumb thing. And they're like, why are you wearing a sweater? No one knows who you are. Like they would.
Can I just ask which school of journalism in the interview technique goes? Step 2, let them ask their question, or don't actually ask the question. They'll answer it themselves, but don't forget step 1, which is bring up pedophilia right out the gates.
What it is make sure the community is safe. Number 1, that's what I did. And number 2, make sure the guest feels at home.
Which community are you making sure is safe?
The children.
From kids.
Okay. Because there were 2 in that. There were 2 communities in the pedophile bit, and I just wasn't sure which one you're protecting.
There are no Mexican pedophiles. That's not a thing.
And we stopped having Avery on the podcast a while ago.
Stop it. He's a friend. He's wonderful. And every week he'll say to me like, so how's the show going? I'm like, Bobby mentioned you again. He's like, that's all he says. He doesn't even watch.
Let me say this about Avery. He's a great guy. He reached out to me out of the blue and was like, how's comedy going, man? Looks like you're having fun. And so I want to say this. It looks like he's having a great time. Go see Avery. He's not a predator no matter what jokes I make.
Well, I said to him, hey, Bobby's really trashing you. So he probably thinks you have an issue. Like you're probably hurting on the inside like a drug addict. Like, no. I think he probably thinks that Bobby's going to kill himself. He's like, oh, he's just lashing out. So I better check in. That's how Avery is.
Projecting.
Avery is like 6'1" and a big boy. Bobby should not be picking any fights with Avery. So I think if anything, it's because Bobby's ready to kill himself. Bobby, do you have a sponsor? What is the background?
Oh, Delco, man. You not down with Delco?
Isn't that like where you live?
No, that'd be cool. This is a 5K I run every year. I go to have a couple of beers and think they're Wawa merch that says Delco is the shit. And then I wake up the next day at home and go, oh, I've got to hang a flag and a license plate holder.
Oh.
Wait, is that the 5K that you ran and they used you as the mascot for not running?
Yep. And from the bit, yeah. And
that's a real story, right?
Yep. And it happened again this year.
Why don't you tell that story again for Dave doesn't know? So we can
I've never heard this.
All right. So a group of friends were like, hey, man, we haven't hung out in a while. We're all going to do a beer fest and run a 5K. Dave.
On the same day?
Yeah. So it's you run the 5K and then afterwards it's the beer fest. Yeah.
That's terrible.
And now have you guys run 5Ks? I'm assuming you could.
No.
I have briefly.
Well, I have too, but I've also know how to have fun. I don't know how to drink anymore, but like if my friends are like, let's drink hard, then run. I'm like,
it's
no.
You've got the order reversed. You run hard and then you drink.
Oh, okay. Because Bobby, I kind of know you a little bit, and I really thought it was the other way around.
Yes.
More likely for me. I mean, let's be honest. I do not run sober. I got to be pretty high, but
nobody should.
Right. It's the only way to enjoy it. So we get there.
By the way, you all should. That's how you're supposed to do it. Go ahead, Bobby.
Disclaimer.
They don't tell you. They wouldn't tell me how many miles a 5K is, and it's 3.1. And they don't say the 0.1 makes a difference, but it makes all the difference, particularly this year where the entire second half of the race was straight uphill. So, like, you're getting pretty close to the top, and you're like, you know what? They've done a lot of these races, and there's still childhood cancer. So I don't think if I walk, anybody's going to really care.
Hey, Bobby, that bit still works. Why are you doing the tags in the bit? Tell the story. Hey, Bobby just did the bit. Fuck you. Do the story.
I don't know, man. You're asking me to do a bit on a podcast. What do you expect?
I didn't say do the bit. I wanted you to do the real story, and you did the tag.
Some dude with a clipboard is watching Bobby run, and then he starts taking money out of cancer kids' hands.
That would make it more motivating. This year, I
take that, Baldy.
This year, clear because of Bobby.
I cut a corner because it was literally uphill twice, and a woman like by like 10 steps. It wasn't a big deal. I'm not winning. I'm just trying to get to the beer fest at this point without like dying. And a woman's like, "You got to go around the corner," and I was like, "Who fucking designed this course? Fuck you!" And just kept going. So I'm not a great example, but they like used me as the example, and I thought it was cool until the caption underneath it's like, anyone can do this 5K.
That's so funny. Did the pickup bus have to come for you in the end?
No, I made it.
Pick you up like in the marathon, all the stragglers.
I've never been last. When I was at like the worst shape when my friends started this, and we're like, "Hey, we got to do this so you don't like die." There was like one guy I picked out and was like, "I'm just gonna beat him." But you'd be amazed how many people just aren't in great shape.
Yeah, but Bobby,
No, I wouldn't.
in a run for cancer. Is that what it was?
It's actually for the Newton Fire Company.
Okay, well,
all right.
Which is why there were a lot of pictures of me in my anti-woke shirt. They love that, dude.
Yes.
7 people came up and were like, "Can we get your picture?"
I was gonna say, in a run like that, there's gonna be people that were involved, like maybe burn victims or probably a couple of special needs people, just because you always throw them in a race for fun or something like that. You know what I mean? At the end, they could take pictures of anyone, probably obese people, whatever, and then they looked at you and said, "This is the thing that'll inspire people to do this."
To be
He's the
fair,
one.
not a lot of people come in the finish line regardless of how long it's taken them, like strutting and posing like I do. I'm pointing out like people in the crowd, like I've just retired from baseball, thanking
Take his
people.
cap off.
At one point, one year I ripped a Jeep halfway, like, because it's always 2 laps, and I got in a little trouble for that one. Yeah, it's a gravity bong.
Oh, yeah, I don't know you're dumb.
I didn't know that
Sorry.
either.
Yeah.
I still
It's
know
like
what
a
a gravity
real-
bong is.
It's a real ghetto bong, like usually constructed out of water bottles, but it hits like a tank. And then they found out I was the DD, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're fine. Get as high as you want." And I was like, "I don't think that's how that works either."
So you're running it again? That's why you have the thing in the background?
No, I finished it again this year.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah.
Congrats.
You want me to go get my medal?
Yes.
I
Oh
can't.
my
Yes,
God,
please.
yes.
I can't.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm too sore from running the 5K. I can't walk. I'll be right
What
back.
color is the medal?
I think it's gold. Let me find out.
Well, once he rubs it on his skin, it'll be green. But it's like,
It
Yeah.
can't be gold. Gold means you won.
that also, no, that means everyone got a medal.
I think it's plastic gold.
Have you ever seen Bobby? I love Bobby, but he's 5'1". There's no way he won a race. It takes him twice as long as regular people to run. It's like watching Lord of the Rings, but sped up.
What's up, dude?
All right, put it on like you're in the parade.
We're just saying everybody got a medal. It's got coffee on it.
That's not
Beer.
gold.
It's called
No, I
Pints
think-
in the Square.
Oh, I thought you won like something from
Oh.
Dunkin' Donuts. Like I've had the most drinks.
That's a fancy medal. Yes, put it
Amy,
on.
I can see why people like Amy. She's nice.
Yeah, exactly. She's the
You
best.
haven't seen my Twitter account, obviously.
Oh, I wouldn't, because I left Twitter. It's so mean. I can't even be on there anymore. I left a year ago. It's too angry. The word. It's so dumb. Everyone's just trying to share like themselves, and everyone's like, you stink and everything. But then why are you paying attention? You know, it's
Right, you're still here reading.
but like when Bobby showed his medal, Dave and I shit on him, and you're like, no, that medal's nice. You know it's not nice. Like, and you
I'm
won't
not a
say
fan of the
it.
participation trophy, but I am a fan of anybody who tries to do a 5K. Because I
thought
used to be an avid runner and now I'm just a slob. So now anyone who's putting out any effort for exercise, I applaud you with my gallon of wine.
Well, and that's perfect, because how many OnlyFans did you have when you were running? None. How many now when you're a slob? Millions. So, hey, that's great. See, it's working out good.
Top 0.13% there, boys.
That's what I'm saying. Do you constantly keep an eye on that?
Not constantly, like
Oh, I would. I mean, that's
as long as you stay under 1%, you're in the top.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's so many OnlyFans.
Mhm.
That is nuts. Now, when someone leaves, do you notice?
No.
Because you have that many, right? Like
Yeah.
our Patreon, when someone leaves, we're like, oh, we have none now. Like, it's like we notice. So it's like it's perfect. But no, but you must be like, obviously everybody that's subscribing enjoys you. But do you feel like that you have to like step it up or do something crazy? Or
You
like,
know, you can get all the new subscribers you want, but you do have to keep them.
Right.
And some people leave because, money's tight or for whatever reason. And a lot of them come back and forth. And that's totally, fine. And I'm grateful for everybody who, subscribes to any of my pages But, I do like to have a variety, and I like to also do what people want to see. People have a connection to me, and that's why they come on. They could think that I'm good looking, but they have a connection to me probably from Twitter or YouTube, and they're naturally curious. So I think that's part of the appeal of these subscription sites. But I still want to give them me, but also what they also like. So I try and do a big variety, and I have big boobs, I have a big ass, like I got both I can put out there.
And
Right,
you have
that's
spunk,
variety,
though,
both.
because you're more than just the big boobs and ass. You could also have a personality that people enjoy too.
Thank you. Well, I do like topless Q&A on there. I do, I'll do feet things for people because I have a lot of feet fans, and there's a lot of
Thought
stuff
we weren't
on
gonna
there.
talk about that, Amy.
Sorry.
You're allowed to talk anything you want.
No, I meant
But I'm
me
saying-
buying feet.
Except the
pics. It was
feet
just a joke.
fans.
Just a
But
joke.
my whole thing would be like, I would want to notice who's leaving when I do certain things. So like, let's say people are there, and then you actually go, "Oh, I'm just gonna have a conversation."
I
They're like,
unveil
"I'm
my
out."
feet, and like there's a mass exodus.
or more, or you find out more people coming in, or it's like, or like one day you're like, "Oh, screw it, I've also learned how to juggle," and they're like, "That's jumping the shark, Amy," and they're out of there. Like,
They're like, whoa. I did have
easy.
someone complain once that he, would compliment me all the time, and my boobs are so big, I love them, whatever. And then somehow he found out, obviously, because I'm super open about it, but in a way he must have found out that my boobs were fake. And he like lost his shit. He was like,
Oh my God, that's like someone getting pissed at a magician because it's not real magic.
right?
There
I
are
was
plenty-
like,
How dare you?
I'm
There
very
are.
open about that. I talk
the
about it all the
fuck?
time. I joke about plastic surgery all the time. And he loved my boobs for like months. And he found out that they were fake. And he,
Are you telling me the
Unsubscribed.
rabbit was in the hat the whole time?
I was like, okay, bye.
My God.
But it was so strange to me. Like,
It's
you didn't
not
notice
strange.
before.
But it's okay. So obviously that man is alone because because what happened there is he felt like he was lied to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in his world, he knows you. Like you
He didn't pay attention very much. If you know me, you know what's fake, that I'm custom built. Like, I have Botox, fillers, fake tits, lipo, like, there's nothing. I love plastic surgery. I'll give it to me all. Start from the ankles and tie it behind my neck. Do it all. So he obviously doesn't know me that well because I'm very open about it. So for him to be so devastated and angry that he like quit, you don't get a refund if you quit, buddy. Nice try.
right. But I mean, it's easy to figure out what happened. He usually just jerks off to you with the sound off. At one point, he got so sore from the constant jerking off that he's like, "I'll take a break. I'll just listen." And
I'll
you
listen.
It finally goes, 1, she has a voice. 2, fake tits. I'm
He
out
went
of
on
here.
my Twitter and he saw my self-deprecating tweets and he was like, "What?
How dare
How
she."
could this be?"
Next thing you're telling me the women in National Geographic don't have fake tits. Like, those are real. That's
Yeah.
crazy though. Yeah, that's the part that's got to be weird. They all of them think they must all feel like, in a way, not everyone on there, but a lot of them must feel like it's a real one-on-one interaction. And I'm sure you're cool with it. You're an engaging person, but at the same time,
I keep
they
up
feel
with my
like it's real.
messages on every one of my sites and my Instagram, everything. If you message me, unless I don't see it, which is rare, they have different if we don't follow each other, it gets put into another box, so I might not see it for a while. But I keep up with my messages on everything, and I don't mind chatting with people. I'm not a huge chatter, but obviously, if you can carry a conversation with me, I'm in.
So it's I don't know. It's weird to me that I don't know your content, so I'm just assuming that you have fans.
She has
who go in there
big
to,
tits and a
She
big
doesn't
ass.
know
Yeah,
your
yeah.
content
So I
either,
don't know.
Dave.
I'm just assuming you have some fans that jerk off, so they're there doing that, and then that guy's like, you know what? No, I draw the line. If there's one place I'm going to make a moral stand, it's right here.
Yes. On OnlyFans,
Yeah.
of all places. Like,
This doesn't align with my values.
no. I think a lot of times I get a lot of subscribers from YouTube and they see me doing these PG videos and I'm putting more of my personality out there. And YouTube, you have to be very, like, you can't even be really sarcastic on there. You know what I mean? So you can't be scantily clad. Like, you have to be very PG. And I think the ones that come from there and haven't been exposed to any of my sarcasm on Twitter or anything really sometimes are in shock when they are exposed to some other page and they're just like, this is not the wholesome beauty that I fell in love with from whatever country I'm from. And it's like the end of the world. And there's also usually a language barrier.
It would be the opposite though. Like they would find you on YouTube.
Like a bonus.
Like, oh, I like this girl. I'm kind of falling in love with her. I wonder if she's like got a personality. Then they find your Twitter and like, oh, she does. I wish I could see. Oh my God. Yes.
Bobby,
That's what all the Twitter people say. They're like, oh my God, yes, finally.
But Bobby, what's crazy is, I'm sorry, but the crazy part would be to me, if I saw you on YouTube and you were just talking and I went over to OnlyFans and you're naked and I go, I don't care about that. Sarcasm? I don't get humor well. I don't need to think, is she joking now? I'm not good with this. I'm censoring this. The tits are fine. It's the sarcasm that's got me out of
So
it.
you'd have to mute me then. You have to mute it.
Sarcasm
if I can mute
isn't
all
big
women.
in
Anyway,
India either.
Yeah, can you tell where people are, where they live? Like, do you get that kind of information? Fan is coming from?
Not a specific fan,
Not
but
like
you
an
can do your
address, but like a-
demographics. Like,
Oh.
I can't look up so-and-so's account and be like, oh, he's from Kuala Lumpur, but I can look on all the analytics of my sites and see like the majority obviously are like 99% male. And how many Americans there are, how many from different countries and things like that. And certain
Okay.
countries don't allow OnlyFans, but they allow Instagram so I have a broad scope of different followers.
May I ask an OnlyFans related question?
Sure.
Let's say hypothetically that you were dating somebody who met you while you were on OnlyFans and you guys started dating and became serious, and then he didn't ask you to, you just kind of out of the blue quit OnlyFans, and now money's gotten kind of tight. And without feeling like a pimp, he would like to suggest you should start doing OnlyFans again.
Bobby, is this about you?
No, just a completely hypothetical random question.
Okay. I don't even, would I feel like, I don't know, because if I had it before and I quit for that person to make them happy and they wouldn't be unhappy if I did it again, why not?
Okay. I'll broach.
Yeah, but here's why not. Because in this
carefully.
in this weird thing, I don't even know Bobby's. I usually know Bobby's jokes. I don't even know where he's going with that one. But that one, okay. Let's say you're doing it right now, right? You're doing it, and it's all because you want to do it. You're making money, but you're enjoying yourself. At one point, you choose, not the world for me anymore.
Right.
Then you're with somebody. Times get tough, and he's like, now, hey,
you should go back to it because we need more money.
You wouldn't be doing it for the same love or purpose. Now you're doing it to make money.
I'd be hustling.
And also hustling for him, kind of.
Right.
It's like, well, why don't you go out and do so? I know I have this ability, but since I've known you, I'm poor in Bobby's scenario. So you've taken me down. I know that, that all of a sudden you have to go back and now pretend like your tits are real because that one guy needs to come back. You can't be sarcastic anymore. All these things are happening.
I would never do that. First of all, I probably would never quit anyway because I have the time of my life and I make $1 zillion.
There's an age where you got to quit.
I don't. But I feel like you can still graduate. Listen, there's granny porn out there.
Listen, there's pedophiles out there too.
There's
I'm not saying that's
weirdos
right.
out there.
But, I think I have so many plates spinning and I feel like my things will evolve into other things that maybe I won't be doing this forever, but it certainly won't be because somebody didn't like it and I felt like I couldn't, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things I like about you and your content most is that it feels like it's very empowering. Like it's you showing off things you enjoy.
Bobby, how empowered do you feel by it?
I don't.
Bobby, have you been on my page? Did I send you a link once?
Yeah, I've been on your page and then stayed.
Yeah, you sent us the link. I gave it to Bobby, and he didn't talk to me for 2 days. Fucking too busy.
It's
broken wrists.
It's very empowering. It's very liberating. It's I'm at an age. I'm 45 years old. Like I don't owe anyone an explanation for anything in my life, and I've always been a very, very sexual person, and I like being able to share what I want and how I want, and it's fun. I have the best time doing all of this. And, not everyone agrees with it and that's totally fine. They don't have to interact with me. I'm fine with that too. And I respect people that are very, against pornography and nudity and just sharing yourself with someone other than with the public. That's totally fine.
Oh, I don't think you should.
Those
quit
people don't have
because-
to interact with me, you know? So
Right, do it as long as you want to do it. I'm saying you're 45 and you've got huge tits. I think these are two facts you know about yourself. You also know about science and biology. Your back is going to be real bad soon. It's
fake
just
boobs way less than real boobs.
Come on,
Okay,
Pat, do some research. And I do want to you said it was
Bobby.
Oh,
I
my
just
bad.
my bad. Just was going to finish before you fucking fangirl again about this shit. But all I was gonna say was I don't care about the weight of it. I have no boobs and I'm older and my back will be fine. What I'm saying is with you doing all the you're going to be doing less movement. You're going to, no matter what, when you're older.
You know,
at one
I'm
point,
fighting the
knitting,
aging process as much as I can, but yeah, things change and
right. No one wants to pay
That's
for
life.
knitting and titting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to want to watch macrame and then your pussy.
that's my next video. Thank
knitting
you
and
for that. Let me
You're
write
welcome.
that down.
But go ahead,
That's
Bobby.
hilarious.
Now tell her she's great again.
No. I was just gonna say you asked how it was empowering, and it's like it may have been. Somebody said like women don't have their confidence until like they're past their physical peak and things like that. And I think the more people that show off confidence and boldness, it allows more people to feel that, and so they don't feel that insecurity. And you're dealing with more body positively.
You're saying she's past her physical peak?
No, not at all. I'm saying like it gives.
I heard.
No, not quite the opposite. I'm saying Amy's doing it in her peak, and that's giving other girls the confidence to do it as well. Or
You know, for me
be who
too,
they
I've
are.
always been very curvy. I've always had a tiny waist, wide hips, you know, that body type was not popular until recently. And the guys that I was interested in wanted Kate Moss, Pam Anderson, that skinny girl with big boobs, and well, not Kate Moss, but the skinny back in the day in the 2000s. So for me, it was very difficult to feel confident because I didn't have a body type that people really liked, that I was in contact with.
I will let
Disagree.
Dave comment before I comment, but go ahead.
Disagree. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong. Like, yeah, skinny bitches have had their time, but I mean, literally, you can go back to Marilyn Monroe and the pinup girl, the hourglass, the curvy woman was supreme. And then, you know, you can go back to Tyra Banks, who claimed she was at a disadvantage when she got into the modeling world because she had tits. So not to disrespect your point. I mean, I like curvy women. I like skinny women, but
I just
I'm
know
not
it from
really
my
sure that
experience,
that's-
you know, in
Okay.
my 20s.
okay.
And I wanted to be that skinny girl. And as much as I tried and I tried everything, that just wouldn't happen for my body type. I was an athlete.
To be
I was
a
curvy.
model, yes, you're
Yeah.
right. But to be
Yes.
but
Being
as a
attractive,
male,
yeah.
that's about you. That's your
Yeah.
your age. I'm 3 years older. First of all, I love that you're calling it curvy because that's what curvy is. You
Yeah.
actually have curves. Now we call 300-pound women on Sports Illustrated curvy. It's like, no, you're a melon. That's not a curve. That's a circle. That's not curvy. I like melons, not melon. You know what I mean? Like, but that's
you're a
not curvy.
singular
Just
curve.
You're-
Yeah.
you have a what they call it, an hourglass figure. Like you're noticing it because it's different. Super skinny was because nowadays you don't need to be because of cameras and changing in
Right.
technology. It doesn't matter, but you had to be skinnier because it did make you look bigger.
Yeah.
And that's why they had to do it. And that's when fat shaming was at its greatest. You aren't fat at all. I mean, you have a great body and build, but I get what you're saying. As an athlete, that had to be tough with that body, and as trying to be a model, that had to be tough because those two back then you couldn't
They
just
didn't go
say I'm
together. Even just dating, you
Right.
know, guys
Oh,
that
who
I
was
was
mad?
around,
who was
Yeah,
mad.
right? Yeah, fair enough.
You know, they were not
You
into.
tell us where these guys are at now, Amy, and we're gonna go fucking take care of them for you,
You know,
okay?
I was in my 20s and, you know, at the Jersey Shore, and
Oh,
I didn't
Well-
always,
Oh,
you know, get the
okay.
guy that I liked. And
well, because he
the
was
skinny girls
secretly
did.
gay. Amy.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the Jersey Shore, and we're the same age. They were orange, and they were pumping their fists and doing laundry. And
they're
wanting to
all
cock.
on my Instagram now trying to message me. So I'm over it. But that was a big struggle for me confidence wise, because I always felt like I needed to hide or stand up against a wall so that no one was standing behind me looking at my ass from that angle, because I was very embarrassed of it. And now, like, I'll wear what I want, and I'm very happy with how I look, and I'm very confident now. And it's because
How old
there's
were you
been
when
a
you got your
shift.
breasts done?
Creep.
I
You're
wa-
a creep.
The
That was
first-
creepy how you said that. I don't know why you.
No.
Well, I was gonna say,
That
when did
was-
you get your new tits installed? But I thought, when did you get? How old were
No.
you when you got your breasts done?
Asking it is fine. The way you leaned back and went. When was it when you got tits?
I thought he was being very interview-like.
Thank you.
He's a guest. I
Eat
don't know
it,
what he's
Pat.
doing. No.
I was the first set. I was 28, and then I just replaced them in January.
When you replace them, what do you like?
She gets
was
them
that a-
rotated every
out.
3,000 pumps.
And
Yeah,
I,
that's actually why I'm asking. Do you
I
have to
put
do
new
that?
ones in. You're supposed to do it every 10 years, but I had no issues. Mine were still going strong, but gravity had set in, and it was time to switch them out. And I actually donated them to another podcast.
That's pretty awesome.
I autographed them.
Wait, just your inside tits and the silicone?
Yeah, those were.
Whatever it is.
The doctor gave me them back.
That's incredible.
Did they sell them?
You can't sell medical waste.
And it's
But you can give it to someone who's like,
Yeah. As long as they don't try and put them in their body, then you're fine.
I don't think they put them in their body.
and I
I
think
You might have used them
the
as a pillow.
whole thing of that podcast is sex, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the theme of their podcast.
They were welcome. They were
What's
a
the
welcome
podcast?
addition.
Why are we not saying their name?
What was the podcast?
It was the Wet Spot with Chrissy Mayer.
Oh, okay. It was
Oh.
weird that you weren't saying the name. Like,
I don't know what the rule is
Oh,
for.
plug away.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I thought it was
It was
SDR.
She was
my
the
guess.
very first, person to invite me on her podcast, and I've, been with her for a few years. And
That's how we knew who you were.
Yeah,
Chrissy's
and-
awesome.
we always we're boob people. She's got big boobs. I got big boobs, and I was like, you know what? I'm donating my implants to the Wet Spot, and she loved it.
That's
She's
awesome.
like, will you autograph them? I'm like, yeah. She put them in her shirt. It was hilarious. It was a great episode.
I do think it's funny that you said, well, you can't sell medical waste. Hi, ever heard of the black market? Yeah.
Who's gonna make that
Okay.
effort? I'm not that
They
famous.
sell babies, Amy, okay? If you can make the effort to steal a child and sell it, and then someone go, Korean boy, I wanted Cambodian. Like, they could definitely sell you
I don't think
tits.
anybody I know is gonna go through that effort. No way. Not for me. I'm not that famous.
You know who's going to buy it? The guy who's mad that you have fake
Yes,
tits. He's going to light them
exactly.
on fire.
He
This
is.
ruined everything. He's
Gonna
on
stab him.
He'll be holding them like, remember that when what's her name was holding the bloody head? Kathy Griffin was
Jesus
holding
Christ.
same thing.
With a note, like he sends me a message, like
Yeah.
A&E.
This could be us, but you had to. Oh God.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Can you tell when someone's from India on your OnlyFans when they put 4 flame emojis and go beautiful lady, kiss kiss?
Yes.
Yes, they always write the same thing. I like.
And then on Twitter, all the scammers start every sentence with a "Am good, how are you?" Like
Am
AM, and I'm like, come on,
that.
stop.
Good.
I'm like, I know the person you stole these pictures from. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I banged you
I just
14
texted
years
her,
ago.
yeah.
Like, it's not you,
You couldn't form sentences as well.
right?
Bobby, you were gonna chime in something.
I was just tagging along the way.
Oh,
But here's an idea. Amy, you know how a lot of content creators get into making their own app? Like we had the Fart in the Jar girl who
Yes.
launched Fansly, and
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea for you, and
Tell
feel
me.
free to take it to market. And Dave, provide some insight. I know we were busting your balls. You know we were busting your balls earlier, buddy, right? Sorry, you
Oh,
just got
what?
real quiet after I was like, our last invite to be on the podcast. You know
Me?
you're our no, Dave. Earlier, that's how I
Oh.
introduced him, and he's been
overthinks
quiet
what he
since.
says.
so-
I don't think anyone
since
heard
then.
you say that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
no.
good.
What are we
Okay.
talking about?
I thought that was funny.
I just wanted to reiterate our last invite, Dave Hintz. Anyway, so Amy, you should come up with this.
But Dave, just so you know, Bobby's the kind
Save
of
the
guy
best
that
for
will,
last.
will molest you but then apologize.
Yep, I will get you some chocolates.
Sweet.
That's my go-to
really.
move.
I appreciate that, Bobby.
You know,
But,
I meant nothing by that, right? My thumb was just cold.
Here's a wet nap.
Jesus
I took
Christ.
one of those. I took one of those earlier.
Oh,
Let me
no.
wipe that for you.
In my defense, I was watching Amy's OnlyFans. But I think an app that would let you anonymously ask people if they have an OnlyFans would make you bank, right?
What
Like,
do you mean?
like
Yeah,
let's
why do you
say,
want to anonymously know?
let's say I went to high school with somebody, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm pretty sure they're on there, but you can't look up their name because it's not just their first and last name or their middle name. You know what I mean, or something like that.
a covert
So
way of
that
finding
way-
out
yeah,
if your
that way you
prom
could be
date
like-
now is on OnlyFans.
Exactly.
It should be the people asking should be anonymous because that's how you make bank as the OnlyFans person. Is you have no idea who's asking you. You don't know if it's the
It's
guy
not going to
next
come
to you.
back
or-
to
Yeah.
haunt you, so people are
Yeah.
going to be more honest.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That'll get
Bobby,
dicey.
we'll talk offline about this
Oh, yeah.
$1 million idea.
Thank you.
This is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Don't have
Oh,
this
yeah.
conversation.
Why, Pat?
Now
what could possibly go wrong?
I don't know, maybe the creeps, but we can, and all the weirdos and stalkers and all that stuff can now just free willy say whatever they want because
I mean,
they
to be
should
perfectly
out there.
honest, people can find out anything, anytime. If you're good at it, you can figure it out without, I'm sure something on the dark web where you can find out,
What's
you know
the
their
dark
name,
web, Amy?
you
Can't
can
sell
figure it out.
paste.
Hang on a
How
second.
do you find
Amy,
the people who
yeah.
aren't doing well on OnlyFans? Like, I want to find someone just starting out who's got like maybe a dozen followers.
that you could
That's
mentor?
it.
You can subscribe to my
If you-
Patreon. How about that, Dave?
You know, don't go on,
Wanna
if you
see
go
my
on
tits?
Twitter.
What do you do for a living? I invest in OnlyFans startups.
Pop-up
If you're on
OnlyFans.
Twitter, you can pretty much figure out. A lot of them have their percentage in their, Victoria top 15% of OnlyFans, and you're like, why are you advertising that? And they have 400 followers on Twitter. Those are the girls. Or you go on Reddit. It's very easy to see that there's girls that are brand new, and a lot of them will say, like, I'm new to this, like, help promote me, whatever. I mean, it's very. And if you scroll a lot of the free OnlyFans pages, you can find a lot of new girls that are just kind of up and coming.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Do you do any collabs?
I do.
That makes sense. If you were someone that was good that you believe in and they could use you, but also it could help with you as well because you could get some of their fans that you don't have either. But that would make sense.
Right. I usually only collab with women that are in the same rank as me. So you have to have a similar size following on social media, and you have to be under top 1% in OnlyFans.
You wouldn't throw anybody a bone? Somebody like you believe in,
I've
whatever?
helped so many people over the years. Like, it has to be, I do it so rarely that it has to be at least somewhat beneficial to me.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because at the end of the day, this is a business. And if you don't treat it like a business, you're not going to make the money that you want to make.
That was actually a quote from Jeffrey Epstein.
That perked Dave up, huh?
At the end of the day, it's a business.
At the end of the day, it's a business.
Yeah, and he had a lot of collabs.
I like your Corvette shirt, Dave.
Thank you. That's
Dave's
nice.
Fancy.
Bobby, Dave's fine.
I could use a compliment. It's not this.
I saw his shirt.
Shut up,
man.
Pat.
Now,
Fuck you.
do you
Let's
drive
hear a little more from
Corvette?
Dave, because I feel like I've dominated the conversation and I didn't mean to.
Do you
No, don't worry.
drive a
Dave's on all the
Corvette,
time.
Dave? Yeah, some would say too often, Amy, if I'm being honest.
Bobby, why? We were doing so well.
Do you
No,
drive a Corvette?
No, he does not.
No.
Okay, I was just curious.
Well, no,
My dad's first car was a Corvette.
we just spent 6 hours in the car together to New Hampshire and back. I know what he drives. We weren't cool. There was no Burt Reynolds in our car.
Okay.
Car
But like
didn't have a bra, though.
if you were driving by, right, and you saw a Corvette broken down, you could probably pull over and help out, though, with
If
your
I saw a
knowledge of
Corvette, if I was
Corvettes.
driving by and I saw a Corvette, I'd be like, "That's a Corvette." Like I could do that.
It just,
I can't.
I just feel like of the two other people, it would have been Amy, not
I
Dave.
could offer my
that could help out.
AAA number.
Yeah,
Right?
I could offer my dad's AAA number. I don't know any car. When someone's like, when an Uber comes and it says what kind of car it is, I'm like, I just read the license plate. I don't know, gray, a Honda. Like, I don't know what a fucking.
I like when
Honda
they tell you
is.
the color and it's like midnight. I'm like, I'm blind. Like, I can't see what color Panjeet is pulling up in.
Whoa, Panjeet.
The best
He's
is
my
when
driver.
He was my driver the other day. He was amazing.
He's been my driver too, but that's a different Panjeet. Which
Yeah.
is funny because I never thought I'd say, wait, which Panjeet? Like, that's not usually a thing.
the best is when he pulls up in a completely different car, but he's like, I'm so and so, and you're so and so, right? And you're like, all right, well,
I've never had that.
50-50
Thankfully.
odds, I'm gonna die.
Still get in. I don't care. I'd be like, sure, kidnap me.
Whatever.
I've had that happen, but then he questions who I am.
Yeah.
He comes in a different car and goes, so what is the name on there? I go, easy, Punjab. It's a fucking different car. I'm waiting in front of my house. There's not like 12 people in Ansonia waiting for a ride. Let me get the goddamn ride, please. So they never know where they're going. Why don't they have the address?
I had to give someone directions to the airport and I'm 30 minutes away. I'm like,
And-
I should get 10 stars for this.
Right.
Who doesn't know how to get to the airport?
How is your rating?
Oh, I'm 5 stars.
Yeah.
5 stars.
I'm 4.98.
You got to work on that.
Well, and I'm
You need to be a better tipper.
no.
Hold the tips up.
I used to let someone I was dating at the time use it too, and I think they were mean. because I've had nothing but 5 stars, and I'm like, God damn it! But I take care of, and I'm always very high up. They can even be assholes to me. I still give 5 stars. I don't care. It's their time.
I give everyone a 5-star.
I never think about it.
Dave, what would you give Pat? You're kind of his Uber driver from time to time. Would you give him 5 stars?
I'm a tremendous ride. I'm conversation.
It seems like you're answering for the witness.
He brings the water.
Objection, badgering the witness.
I buy coffees. I do it all.
Seems like he's reminding you of an awful lot after those 6 hours, Dave.
Here's the thing. Pat, everything Pat just said is true, but because he jumps in like that, I'm only going to give him a 9.98.
Well, I guess I'll have to find a new opener.
I think the next road trip that you take with Pat, you need to set up one of those dash cams like the Kardashians have so they can watch the conversation between the two of you on this road trip. And I feel like that would be a hilarious segment.
We would be so canceled.
Yeah.
The conversations him and I have is insanity. Like, it's not as bad. Me and Dan Brown had one where I have 1 or 2 new bits off, but it was Dan Brown was saying to me, he's a comic that we have on the show, Amy. And Dan's like a little, he's very socially inept. He's a great guy, whatever. But in the car ride, he was saying like complaining about comedy audiences. And he was saying, oh, they're so reserved and they're so like closeted and they're so close to it. And I go, no, Dan, we're monsters. They're just people. We think awful things. And now you've forgotten that. And he goes, that's not true. And then forget the next sentence. Something he said had to do not only with transsexuals, but also molestation. I go, monster. Like, it's all I said. It's like, he's like, oh, I get it now. Like, no one's at home thinking about this. So Dave and I will have fun joking about things, but it would be awful. The context would be bad.
There would just be cops waiting for us when we got to wherever we were going.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make it live. I would just record it and then take the best.
We don't even make this live. The second I record something, I put it out there. Bobby has to turn to me and go, let's keep that one on the Patreon. And I'm like, what do you mean?
It's like, out.
That's going to ruin everything. It's like, oh, okay. But that's more fun, right? Like, I've never cared about that kind of shit. If I say stuff, whatever, it's all fun. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just making fun of things because life's too short. But some people are like, oh, that's not fair. My kid died. I'm like, yeah, I said life's too short. So you kind of laughed. I knew I would get Dave. So
earlier you said I was too short when you were not running a 5K.
Well, to be fair, you're still too short. That kid's dead.
That hasn't changed.
Yes. Amy knows. But I want a guy to say, I thought Bobby was taller. Nothing's real.
My guy from OnlyFans.
Yep, see?
That's jerk off. Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's what he does. Jerk off.
Not anymore. He's probably on one of my other sites now. He's probably on Playboy, like the same thing, pretending like I don't know who he is.
Wait, you're on Playboy?
Yeah, Playboy has a site similar to OnlyFans, except they don't allow any XXX. And it's a subscription site, but you have to apply and they have to select you. So, and they're not taking new, like you can apply now, but they're not taking new.
You have to do different content for that?
You can do nudes and lingerie and.
No, I mean, you specifically, like, do you have to change? So do you have to do like all right, you do an OnlyFans set and then a Playboy set?
Yes.
That sucks.
Well, not really, because I can do, I do nudes and lingerie on OnlyFans too. It's not all videos. A lot, I have on my timeline a lot of photos and stuff. So I can use the same. That's why I tell them, like, you don't have to join more than one site, but Playboy is only me. Like, you can't have anybody else. There's no XXX.
So you're repurposing content. You're not necessarily making content twice.
I do separate things for both, but I can use both on each, like the lingerie and the nudes, the solo stuff I can use on Playboy, but it's cheaper on Playboy because there's no XXX.
All right, Bobby, I have a question. I didn't know if you had a question first. You kind of opened your mouth, so.
No, go ahead, buddy.
All right, and we've said this, so people that watch, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty vanilla when it comes to shit. It's just who I am. Like, I'm happy for. It's not that I'm like prude in any way. I watch porn, I do whatever. I'm just not knowledgeable in anything. So when you say XXX, what's the X rated? So it's X, it's double X. What XXX to me? What would that be? That's so
it's
crazy.
A movie.
It couldn't be on.
So Playboy doesn't allow you to do anything with another person. So you could have picture with another person. Like I could put a picture of me and my friend in lingerie that I did a collab with,
Okay.
but I can't show or sell the video of us in the act.
You can't be eating out their pussy. That's triple
No.
X. All right.
You can't do
Was
that.
Deep
You
Throat
can't
the
have
first
boy,
Triple X
girl.
movie?
You can't do anything.
So you can't stand there naked next to a guy naked. You're not touching. You're just both chilling.
No,
His cock's
I
out.
don't even, I might be able to, but I wouldn't even take that chance.
No, I'm just asking. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know the ranking system. So Playboy, because that's how Playboy, there wasn't sex in Playboy. Playboy
No.
magazine when I was a kid.
No, there's no sex.
It
So
was
I don't
even
even,
great. Like they didn't even open up. You didn't see a kidney like Hustler. or
No.
nothing. It's like,
Isn't it
Yeah.
like, all right, like the first Triple X movie was Deep Throat because it actually showed sexual intercourse.
yeah.
Like that's where the Triple X rating came from.
Mm-hmm.
what
that
was
true?
double X?
There wasn't a double
Some
X.
fat dude.
It was like NR17 and then triple X.
I just think it's crazy that someone saw X and then they saw Deep Throat and went, whoa.
No, no,
2X it
no.
was. Yeah. Go.
They were like, all right, here's the deal. If we make it
You know what
double
it
X,
was? They took out all the O's from X's and O's.
Right.
They were watching
I
Family
don't
Feud
like
that
this.
day. They were watching Family Feud and they're like, that's 3 X's. We're done.
They
It's
were
like
like-
3 vomit signs for the bush that she had in that video.
they were like, if we make
Vomit
it,
signs.
if we make it double X, it's just gonna inspire people to try to overachieve. We're just gonna set the bar at 3, and we'll figure out
Very
what 2
high.
is later.
Yes.
Good thing that I want X stands for X rated. Good thing they didn't use like kinky because then it would have been 3Ks and that would have been terrible.
Well, I think X rated is still in these days is considered kind of soft porn, like how Skinamax used to be. You know, it was like implied,
Yeah, like
and
a family
triple X
friendly.
is like you're seeing everything.
Bobby, what family are you from?
I've seen
I
who
don't
caught
think
that
it's
one.
family friendly.
He could be.
Come on, kids, it's Amy's pussy. Let's go.
Okay, well, easy with the harsh words, man. It's family. This is a
I
family friendly
said, come
podcast.
on, kids. I didn't say get out of here.
Ah.
We're enjoying it together. But yeah, I didn't even know Playboy was still around. That's how they make money now. Is they do it through.
They're mostly online. They do print still, like if you know, but to even just be accepted into and selected into anything with the Playboy brand is like such an honor.
Well, it always was. I mean, that was it was
Yeah.
a big deal.
I
It's
mean, you are walking with the greats,
Yeah.
like
And
Lindsay
I mean,
Lohan.
my goal still would be to be in Playboy and or on, you know, their cyber site or something like that. And that's, you know, something that would be a huge accomplishment for me because Playboy, you know, is the best. It's amazing.
how many things have you turned down? You don't have to say who, but like I'm sure there's people reaching out. We're like, hey, you could do this with us because they know that you're going to draw eyes. How many? Is it like once a week you're turning something down?
You know, I get a lot of requests from guys to collab. And I'm like, do you even have an OnlyFans? You have 40 followers. Like, what would I do with you? You
Blow
just
me.
like, they call it a collab because do you think I'm an idiot? Like,
Right.
this is a business. Like, you have to be able to promote and market. And just because you have
No,
a
but
ring
I
light and a
meant, like,
I swear to
iPhone
God, though,
does
if you
not
collab, I tell
mean-
all my friends.
What was that?
right.
I would definitely promote. I tell all my friends.
He was like, you can keep all the money. I'm like, I was keeping all of the money anyway.
Right.
You have to keep your money, but you're not getting much with your 40 followers on Twitter.
Well, I meant more like, I mean, that makes sense too with collab. I mean more like porn studios and things like that. We're like, hey, let's get her into this. Let's do a bunch of these kind of movies. Let's get her in a whole MILF series or Cougar series or some shit. You're like, no, but I want to make the money because you're an entrepreneur. You make the money for yourself. They would want to make money off you.
Yeah, and
I'm
the
sure
porn
people wanna
industry
do
is
that.
so different now. And you know, I would consider obviously doing like a girl like feature or something like that. I get a lot of requests for YouTube actually that I don't always delve into. You know, everyone wants you to hawk their product and
Yeah.
there's things on there and I'm like, my, you know, audience is all male. So if it's not a product that a male would want, I can't do a video for you because my 3 women aren't going to buy your bra.
Yeah, and the guys aren't even if they get the girl of their dreams, their bra isn't going to be the same one that fits you. That's for darn sure.
No,
It's
I did do a
custom-made.
bra try on to educate men. There are so many men out there that have no idea what the cup size, what the numbers and letters mean on a bra. So they'll be trying to compliment my big boobs and they're like, what are you, a 55 triple Z? And I'm like,
That's not what we're going for now.
What did you sink my battleship? What the fuck is wrong with that?
so I had to like make a video and explain how bra sizes work. And so many people were like, really? And I'm like, yeah.
Have you considered taking that a step further? Because you see all these grifters. This isn't gonna be bad. I don't like how we
I
said
love
our boy
this word,
already.
grifter.
Okay,
No, like
every time Bobby goes, have you considered? It's usually something insane. That's all I'm
And
saying.
I
and
feel
by
like Bobby and I
grifters-
are going to go into business at some point.
I do mean genuine grifters, like the guys who are like, if you follow this technique, you will get any girl into bed. Like, all you have to do is say words like penetrate. That'll put it in her subconscious. And it's like, you know, these shysters. But doing a genuine series and being like, okay, so step 1, take a shower. This is how you take a shower. We're going to wash our hair. And like going through and like, all right,
Wash
this is
everything
but-
every day.
And then like taking a step further, like this is how you introduce yourself at the bar. This is how you
Yeah.
ask a
Oh,
girl
that's a great
about
idea.
her breast replacement without sounding
you
like
don't
a
have
creep.
to come up to me and just say hello to someone, you know, like people DM me all the time, weird stuff. But the guys are like, hey, I'm a golfer too. Or, hey, like I saw your thing and I thought it was awesome. And then continue to have a conversation, even if they have a crush on me or they want to ask me on a date or whatever, like they're just cool and can carry on a conversation.
Yeah.
Like that's the way to go.
But I'm saying,
Bobby,
I think you
found
should.
the flaw in your plan, because every single person who's going to buy one of those programs is not looking for, hey, how do I have an actual conversation with a human being? It's how do I get my dick sucked?
Yes.
Right, but that's
But
like
you're
lesson
leading up
9.
to
Right. So
That's okay.
the
Wait a
possibility
minute. Yeah, you're leading up to the possibility. That's where I call
you
horse
can
shit.
even call it that way and be like, this is the only way it's really going to happen. You have 2 options. It's like one of those flow charts. 1, take out $9,000. Option 2, follow Amy's plan. Take a shower, go back to school, lose some. Like you could teach people how to live their lives, because
get your own apartment.
I do think that's like a huge market people are looking into, like trying self-betterment. But if they had somebody like you who they could also find attractive while like learning how to get their life back on track.
So
I think
I'm doing this course topless.
you could if you wanted to, or that could be a reward. Oh my God.
I'm totally fine for
It
that.
could be a
but
subscription-based program where if they're
you buy the
following,
course,
they're
I'm
showing.
topless. We have a whole, online curriculum,
Again,
and you get your life in order.
Let's start fully clothed, and then as they're
Yeah.
checking in with you, like if they can
Yes.
show they've been taking showers, then suddenly we're
Yes.
scantily clad, and by like lesson 14, then
Did
you're
you pay
nude.
all your bills on time
It's-
this month?
you're
Check.
getting
Sorry,
it. Yeah.
if I may, sorry to be the cold water guy. If you're telling a group full of men that if you do these things, they may have success with women while you're topless, they're all going to be like, why didn't this work on you for
did.
me? No, I mean, they're all
It
going to
worked
be
on
wondering
somebody.
they're all going to be wondering why you're not falling for it. You know what I mean?
She already fell for it.
I fell for
No,
it.
by
Sorry.
them is what he means.
By them.
They all
yeah.
think that they're dating Amy.
That- they
they're
all think
mostly
that this is going to work
horse-
on you.
Well, everybody knows I'm not looking for dates. So
And by week 14, when she's finally fully nude, Dave, guess what? They're just out there pursuing other women. Amy's
it was
just
like
one
that
of many
scene in
on the
Major
wall.
League where every time they got a win, they ripped off a paste off of her
You know what,
cardboard
Amy?
cutout.
Yeah.
Give yourself 10 points, because that was the inspiration for that riff, and the other 2 clowns didn't get it.
Yes.
I'm just joking, Pat. I
No,
love you,
I'm,
buddy.
I'm fine with being a clown. You guys just do your, hey, let's just do Professor Titsy's stories to men. They do a lot of stuff. But I have a real business plan. This would be a fun, Amy talked about how we should do like the camera thing, and that'd be fun. I think you should, in your OnlyFans, sometimes do a prank show and not let people know about it.
That'd be awesome.
And what you do
Oh.
is right in the middle of your show, like, so you're talking, and as you're just doing a video, whatever, and you're taking your top off, so guys are paying attention to you. Like you're sitting right there. There's like a video on this right on the other side of you because you have plenty of room, and it's just like a penis. And then it's also it's like hypnotizing things, and you're just now you're gay. And it says that underneath, and it pulsates, and they're like, wait, what is this? Like, if you're not paying attention to me, you're gay. And they're like, what? And then they turn, and then like, and you're like, and then you
And
write.
they all unsubscribe. That's a terrible business plan.
No, and then you write underneath. And the only way to get deprogrammed is to watch the second video, which will cost an extra $10 a month. And
Oh,
then they
that's
just
good.
pour money in because they're all so stupid. They think that's how you become gay.
Oh my God.
And then once
That's
they pay you,
hilarious.
and then once they pay you the money, you send it back with a joke of, it was a prank, guys. Thanks for playing along.
That's
And then
so
they laugh.
funny.
You should send him. No way, dude. You should send him a certificate that says you are not gay. With
Completion. I'm gonna send him Bobby's medal.
CUM completion. Or like how many letters you get. Thank you. I didn't know I was gay, but now I love dick. Thank you, Amy.
Thanks so much.
Bobby didn't want to get hypnotized, so he left.
Yeah, I don't mess with that devil shit.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Bobby, I think we're gonna do one POS story and then we'll call it because we've had a lot of fun talking. And this one story actually pertains, we need Amy's expertise on this one. Because I actually found it in the New York Post, but it has to do with OnlyFans, so it'll work out.
Oh.
You might even know about this already. But we do the New York Post all the time because the New York Post is not even really a newspaper anymore. And what they do is they literally watch YouTube and TikTok and then write stories on it, which is insane. So this one fits. OnlyFans model gives fans control of her life, so they make her dump her boyfriend. This is a real fucking thing. She's letting the followers take the driver's seat. It is on one wild ride. An OnlyFans model has let her followers decide her fate by posting polls online and doing whatever they tell her to do. So they've been having fun telling different this and that, sexual things like that. But at one point, some guy, the model's name is Lori. They don't give her full thing, but Laurie. She's also a tennis player and a student, so she's younger. She put a thing up, say whatever, and some guy was like, drop your friend. She's hot.
No, I'm saying no, she is not also a student or a tennis player.
No, she might be in 8th grade.
And a French maid.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's also your secretary and your boss.
Bobby, how dare you? I've noticed that she delivers pizzas. That's
and
what
a
I
MILF.
noticed. Yes. Yeah. If she's a MILF, she looks like she's like maybe 19. But she tried to they tried to engage in conversation and do stuff, but this guy was just like, no, screw it. She grew up in Paris. The guy's like, break up with your boyfriend. And then everyone else kind of jumped in saying it'd be fun. And she was like, thought it'd be fun to do this thing, but then they were getting like a little worked up about it and everything. And so people were getting upset because she tries to have real conversation. Like you said, you do have real conversations with people, not feel like they're soliciting, feel like it's real and organic.
Right.
But then people really started going, yeah, you said you do whatever, so you should drop your boyfriend. So
did the boyfriend suck?
We'll get into that part.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
After searching, I just meant because I haven't read it yet because I don't really care. After searching for meaningful connections by sharing portions of her life with her devout followers, she used her Telegram account to host weekly public polls, but only OnlyFans subscribers could see the result. By the way, Bobby, I see a picture of her with a bra on and a tennis skirt and laying on a tennis court, so she obviously is a tennis player.
If you give Amy 15 minutes, she could come back like that.
Listen, I wear a lot of golf clothes, and I'm not a good golfer, so.
Sorry.
But I guess I'm but golfing's easier to fake.
Oh my God. First fake tits, now fake golf. I don't know what to believe.
I try very hard, but it's just not happening.
I bet you're a better golfer than me. Pat, I'm sorry. I keep interrupting your story, buddy. So
that's all right.
The Telegram poll said she should dump her boyfriend.
Do not yes and my reading.
Trying to help, buddy. We got poor old Dave the distraction in the bottom.
Yeah. Dave's got a Tiger Woody.
10 out of 10. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, Dave, don't worry. You're on the next show because you have nowhere to go. You can talk then. Shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying, how am I not on the top? I'm on the top screen in my view.
God.
You're on the bottom. I'm on the top right on mine.
I'm on the top right. We all on the top right for our own?
I wish I was hanging from my ceiling. How about that? What the fuck is this Brady Bunch conversation?
Read the story. No one's going to interrupt you. Read it. Read the story.
Who cares? Who's the piece of shit?
Know.
No, is it the lady for fucking breaking up with the boyfriend? Is the boyfriend deal with it? Or is it Pat for having this show? Dave, since you're so fucking smart, you go first.
Okay.
I'm out of wine. Wrap it up.
The two obvious ones are the fans and the girl, but I'm going to say the boyfriend, because if he knew that she was going to do whatever they said and he did not see that coming, he's a dumb piece of shit.
Nazi.
But my question is, why does she have to like, she could totally go off on this whole thing and no one would know if she was with her boyfriend or not. She'd be like, I totally followed your advice. Thanks so much. If you agree with me, tip me $50. She could totally go on with this and no one would be the wiser. Like, why is she letting this drama?
Because I guess if we got to the story part, he was
Dave.
toxic and not a good guy. And
That's
then
why they're
therefore
saying break up.
she was putting that out there. He didn't like her. But by toxic, what he was saying was, hey, can you not always show your tits on a tennis court? Hey, can you not go in a helicopter and show your vagina?
No.
And then, but then
trying
she
to
was
be 1%.
right. And that's what she was trying to do. So she blocked him so she could do all these things. And he got mad because she blocked him from seeing the stuff, but then kept doing the stuff. And everyone's like, get rid of this guy. And that's why she did it. He obviously isn't built to date someone like that.
He's not the asshole.
No, he is the asshole because he if he had a problem with it, she said she wasn't going to stop doing it, and so he could have made the decision to leave. Instead, he got fired. So I'm still going with him. Piece of shit.
Well, no. Did she block him and still do it, and she's still with him, pretending she didn't do it?
We don't know, but she's in the top. Just so you know, for your thing, the 0.7% of creators.
0.7. All right, she's a
So that's less.
Less than me,
That's
but
less than
okay.
1%. So that's less than 1%, right? So yeah.
It's less than 1%, but it's
No,
not as good as
you're
me.
the king. That's why that's what
No. We were just trying to get the reference. Pat's not, and I aren't good with percentiles.
Right. Because I'm reading it going, is that 70? Like, I don't fucking know. Of the platform, and is using 25% of her profits to advocate for anti-bullying in schools.
Okay.
She just got her boyfriend cyberbullied. What the fuck?
I think that's hilarious.
She's paying the price.
Okay, I changed my answer. She's a piece of shit.
Are you sure?
I
Because like,
said she's the asshole. If they're still together and she's blocking him and pretending she's not, just so she could do this, that's not cool. Like, break up. If he's not comfortable with it, break up. Or if you're going to stay with him, then respect his wishes. You have to be supportive of each other in this role, and it's something that can either bring you closer together or tear you apart. And you can't pretend either way. Like, you can't pretend you're okay with your girlfriend spreading her pussy all over the internet because it's going to be there forever, and you can't pretend that you're okay that he's not supportive. Like, it's one or the other.
Right.
Like, my husband is 100% supportive of everything that I do, and we would not be where we are if we weren't both on the same page.
But now, what if? And I'm not saying you would, but just hypothetical scenario,
Right.
Because this is what my mind went.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the best of both worlds. What they're dating, so they're not married, so it's a little different.
Right.
So you can do a breakup. You
can.
What I'm saying, but you saying I'm gonna divorce my husband, nobody would buy that shit for an only. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Right.
You wouldn't talk to them. So let's say in a hypothetical scenario that you and your husband were so on board with it that he was like whatever, and you were like, how do we step it up a notch? How do we get more attention? Let's get up to that other thing. Why don't we do that? I'm cool with it. You
Right.
can say it, whatever. I know I have a job, whatever. You don't ever use my name. Your last
Right.
name's on there. So let's say that's all. Maybe this dude is on board and he's like, you know what? I'll even let you block me. I'll even
Right.
do whatever.
You don't know the story.
Because she wants to do it. No, so I get that because I think people forget that because it's OnlyFans, people think of it and it's always real.
Right.
I know you're a real person, but it's also it's still
There's a lot of people on there that are not authentic.
But why not? And you don't have to be. It's entertainment purposes. And you're
Yes.
doing it so they can fake. They got once again. It's. I know I'm gonna ask Bobby his piece of shit in a second, but my piece of shit always is when it's like this. It's none of the people. It's the New York Post. This isn't news. Okay, this is not news. It's not some hot lady in France fake broke up with her boyfriend. I don't give a shit. But we talk about it, and they're getting covered with everywhere, so that the job's working. Bobby, who do you think the piece of shit is?
The guy she put in the friend zone. Because this is how the whole story played out. She put some dude in the friend zone, started dating this other guy. He follows her OnlyFans. She starts saying, I'll do whatever you guys say. He starts going, isn't your boyfriend a little toxic? Then, because they go to college together, he's going to the boyfriend like, dude, it's nuts. I saw your girlfriend's tits on the tennis court. You got to shut that down. And so it's whoever's trying to insert himself into this relationship. So that's who I'm going with, the third guy.
Wizard of Oz.
No, that's
background.
just Bobby's so damaged. It's fucking. Bobby, I want to hug you once an episode, and this is the time right now. Holy shit. That's where your head went with that?
Fuck.
That's what happened.
No, it's not. What, Bobby?
You
What woman's not dating
genius.
you? Whoever's not dating you, I'll yell, Bobby's a catch, goddammit. Stop friend zoning Bobby.
Nah, I'm good. I don't even think she goes by woman anymore.
Who?
Don't worry about it.
You know what? On that note, Amy, thank you so much for being on. Please tell everybody where they can follow you. All that you're fun. You're a great sport. We
Thank you
appreciate
so much. I'm on OnlyFans, Loyal Fans, Playboy Centerfold, Twitter, where I got my start. Find all of my links, including my 2023 calendar on whateveramy.com.
What's your favorite month?
My birthday month, March.
What's that? March.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Nice. Me too.
Do you have cake all over your tits for that one?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Are you an Aries?
I don't want to say.
Yeah,
No,
don't
I'm a
spoil
Pisces.
anything.
Oh, all right.
I just went on sale yesterday, so it's on Fan Gear. You can get the link on my whateveramy.com for my 2023. But I'm telling you, it's not safe for work. You're gonna love it.
Anyone out there, please bring it to work. Just put it in your cubicle and you're like, what? It's like, it's for a good cause. What's the cause? My boner. Hey.
You know, somewhere out there, that other guy's like, fuck, they're back together. Okay, new one. Tell your boyfriend to bring your calendar to work.
Dave, you have nothing but pretend like you do.
Well, I'm not as prolific as whatever Amy, but you can go on, find me at Dave Hintz Comedy on Facebook and see a 6-month-old post. You want to do that?
You're
Or
consistent.
You can see I took 2 pictures of you at the show we did, and I wrote Dave
Oh,
Hintz
nice.
is being mean, and I put that on your Facebook.
I liked it.
You did like it. You were the one. Bobby,
As always, check out the Davey Mac Sports program. New episode this week with Bronx Johnny. And check out our Patreon. That's where we got good stuff. Pat's got some good stuff coming in the works. And check out
works.
Bobby's World, episode 1, available on compoundmedia.com.
Yay!
Thank you. It's kind of buried on the site, but if you search hard enough, you'll find it. Or follow one of my posts giving you directions.
If you search Bobby's name on there, it'll pop
You'll
up.
find it.
That's the best way to do
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
No. If you, I did.
Oh, you
If
did it. My
search-
bad, dude.
If you search, same way when you want to find, like when we did the pilot episode, if you search the person's name, it comes up like second or third. You'll be at 1 or 2, because the good thing that helps, Bobby, is if they search your full name is not tagged in most of things that you've appeared on.
Well,
So
that's
if
good.
they do that or if you write Bobby's World in the search, they'll find it right away. Go support it. Bobby sent me some clips. It's fucking hilarious. Not only is Bobby there, but 2 other guests of ours.
I
who
can't
are
wait to
awesome.
watch it.
It's fucking very funny.
Same.
Great sketches and stuff. It's got you should be on an episode with them. That'd be fucking fun.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
They do sketches with them, Mike O'Donnell and Manny Santiago, very funny guys, and they do a different guest all the time, and it's great. And I'm happy Bobby's doing it. If you like Gillian Keeves and things like that kind of nature, you know what I mean? Fun, for good stuff. Bobby, take the fucking compliment, shut the fuck up.
Dave, what did you think of it?
Dave's not on Compound.
Yeah, not yet.
Oh, well, maybe you know why you're our least favorite guest now, huh?
Well, or you could send me the link
kidding,
like
Dave.
whatever Amy did.
I'm just kidding,
Well, no,
Dave.
but-
I got
no,
one more
because
shot in on
They
the
don't
way
have
out.
free stuff. Kumi is more of a Jew than Amy is. But anyway.
Whoa. Again, that's the host signing off on something, not the
Yeah.
co-host.
Yeah, the guy who made one of the best pilots they've ever made. We're just like, we'll just
Oh,
hold on.
thanks,
'cause
man. You didn't have
COVID's
to
rough.
say that.
Not you,
Oh.
me, bitch. I have things in the works, according to you. No,
You
I
do.
got, I got a lot of stuff coming up, but the big thing here, watching out. This month is my birthday month, Amy, and I'm doing a comedy
Cool.
show that's right near my house. Having
Are
lot
you
of
a
fun there.
Libra?
Am I?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. I
Are
don't
you?
believe in magic.
Okay.
I like it when people tell me about it. I'm open to learning things. A lady tried to teach me that the other day, and I kind of listened, but like I just don't know any of that stuff. Am I a Libra?
What date are you? What date
October
are you?
15th.
I think you're a Libra. Yeah, you're a Libra.
Oh, you
I know
are
that-
such a Libra too, dude.
I know it. I know last week, as I know what people
You're
say that
feisty.
a week ago. I thought I was gonna say fuckable, but okay. A week ago, I was like my new moon was here.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
okay.
told
I don't know.
that.
I don't know that.
What did you
I
do
was-
with the old one?
Oh, Dave, did I tell you this story?
We gave it to the wet spot. They have it there. I signed it.
Dave,
My
did I,
callbacks are
did I
amazing,
tell
by
you
the
this story? Real quick, let me tell Dave this story.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I was at the bar, and I have this special beer. I like, you know what I'm talking about, right, Dave? And I asked for it, and they were like, no, I think it'll be in next week. No, I think it'll be in next week. And finally this week when I went on
God, don't do it.
Thursday,
Don't do it.
they
Don't do
said-
it. Don't do it. Don't do this joke.
they said,
I
hey,
can
man,
see it
your
coming.
blue
I
moon
hate
is
this.
here.
I hate you. I hate that joke. You can follow me
Yeah,
on
but you
shit,
can
but I don't
only
want.
get
If
it
you like
once.
that, if you like that joke, don't follow me anywhere. Don't go to my shows. Nothing.
Delete your account.
Yes, delete it. Gone. I now know how that guy felt when he was mad at you for having fake tits, Amy. I feel that way about Bobby right now.
I get it.
Everything's a
I get
goddamn
it.
lie.
Devastating.
Amy, we love you. Thank you so much. Dave, you're
Thanks
always
so much,
the best. We
guys.
appreciate you.
I
Bobby,
had the best time.
If you can't join him, beat him, and don't be a piece of shit.